The biggest challenge we're facing and hearing about today in markets is, of course, what do we do with our bond portfolio? We are looking at a bond allocation today that, for the most part, people are allocating a significant amount of their wealth to bonds. But when you look at the reward per unit of risk in bonds, we think it's actually the worst we've seen in many years. One thing, we've come off a 30-year bull market in bonds. People have made a lot of money holding bonds passively, but how do you actually own bonds going forward? The duration versus return opportunity in bonds is very bad. So you're taking a yield to maturity on the DEX Universe Bond Index of in the low 2% range, and you're getting a duration risk, which is real risk of bonds, of over 7 years. This is a significant challenge that investors face. So what we've done as a firm is really focus on solving this problem with the Tactical Investment Grade Bond Fund from Purpose. So what are we doing with this strategy? First, we recognize that being passive in bonds is just not going to work in the future. And the real way to manage a bond portfolio today has to include both some hedging strategies on duration, but also strategies around derivatives, options, call options and put options. And that's exactly what we're doing. So first, we're going long a portfolio of Canadian high-grade investment-grade bonds plus some U.S. high-grade investment-grade bonds. We've added a small sliver of high-yield bonds because we think that over the long term, high-yield bond exposure will provide us really good enhanced yield relative to the risk that we're taking on duration. The next thing we're doing is we're really focusing on an overlay strategy. And this is really very important. So what we're doing is we're managing the duration risk and trying to enhance our income through options and hedging strategies. So let's go through each of these. One, we're using calls and puts on the 10-year government bond in the United States to really manage both an enhancement in yield and mining volatility, while at the same time having the effect of reducing duration on the portfolio. Two, we're also going to be using a very innovative interest rate hedging strategy. It's something that we use at Purpose in some of our other funds in our hedged real estate strategy, whereby we're going to be looking at interest rate trends. And as interest rate trends start to increase and start moving up, we will actually short the 10-year government bond in the United States to reduce the interest rate risk in the portfolio. This will have a significant impact on shortening the duration of our portfolio in the event that we have a rising rate environment. And then three is we're focusing on dynamically managing our FX or our currency exposure to the US dollar. As you know, we think that there's really unique opportunity in being exposed to the US bond market, both in diversification plus in yield opportunities in the future. But two is we'll actually be managing the currency exposure. We want to really be thoughtful about how much FX risk we take at any point in time. So we will be at all times hedged about 60% on our US dollar exposure, and then on top of that, tactically managing between 60 and 100% as trends in the US dollar go positive or negative. All of this comes with a wonderful structural package for investors. First, we've kept fees low at 0.35%. This is really important. Not only are we delivering a great investment strategy with a lot of depth and detail to this to how you want to own bonds in the future, but we're just not charging a lot for that value add. And that to us is the DNA of Purpose, but most importantly, it's going to add value not only in this interest rate environment that we're in, but over long periods of time for investors and their returns. We think that stability and income is very important. We'll be paying monthly, stable, and enhanced income out of this strategy. And all of it is earned from both the portfolio of bonds plus the option overlay strategy. We think transparency is extremely important to us. That's a big part of Purpose's DNA. Everything we do, we publish on a daily basis on our website, and all of our portfolio strategies are transparent. So you know exactly how we make money and how we invest the portfolio. And then finally, we believe that you should invest with us the way you're most comfortable. So all of our funds, including this, have a ETF and a mutual fund series of classes. And what that allows you to do is buy us the way you want to buy us. The ticker symbol on the ETF will be BND. And remember, always invest with purpose.